It started with a trip to the DMV. That's it. That's all it took. One minute she was a regular 18-year-old girl, annoyed about waiting in line to get her first ID. The next minute, everything she thought she knew about her life started to unravel. Her name was Carly Ann Mitchell. Or at least that's what she'd always believed. She grew up in a small suburb outside Tampa, Florida. A quiet neighborhood. White picket fences, bike rides after school. Her mother, Janet, was strict but loving. Protective. A little too protective, actually. She never let Carly have sleepovers. Didn't allow social media. Homeschooled her until she was 16. Always said the world was dangerous. And Carly? She listened. Obeyed. Trusted. But when she turned 18, she decided to finally apply for a state ID. "I just want to feel like a real adult," she told her mother. Janet hesitated but relented. She handed Carly a small folder, birth certificate, homeschool transcripts, everything she'd need. Or so they thought. At the DMV, Carly handed over the papers with a confident smile. But the woman behind the counter frowned. She typed something into the computer, paused, looked back at Carly. "This ID number doesn't exist," she said slowly. "Are you sure this is a valid birth certificate?" Carly blinked. "Of course it is. My mom gave it to me." More typing, more frowning. Then came the call. 30 minutes later, 2 police officers walked through the doors. They didn't handcuff Carly. They didn't even raise their voices. But the questions came like daggers. "Where did you go to school? Do you remember your pediatrician's name? Have you ever traveled out of state? Do you have a social security card?" Number. Carly's world tilted. She felt dizzy. Nothing made sense. And then, the moment that shattered everything. "You were reported missing in 2008. She laughed. A nervous, hollow laugh. "That's not possible. I've never been missing." But she had. According to the report, a 6-year-old girl named Savannah Grace Hartwell vanished from a park in Tampa 12 years ago. Same birthmark, same dimple, same eyes. Carly Ann Mitchell didn't exist. Her real name was Savannah. She had been kidnapped. By the woman she called Mom. The media exploded. Cameras parked in front of their house. Reporters camped outside the courthouse. Hashtags trended. Stolen by love. Who Eyes Carly, Chaj Savannah. Returns. Everyone had an opinion. Talk shows debated endlessly. Was Karen a monster or just a broken woman? Karen, Janet's real name, had suffered a miscarriage the year before she took Savannah. The loss unhinged her. She moved across the country, changed her name, created fake documents. And then, she found a little girl playing in a park. She told Savannah that her parents were gone, that she would take care of her now, that she was safe. Savannah was just 6, and scared. And she believed. The first weeks were a blur, Savannah would later recall. A long road trip, a new home, a new name, new rules. From the beginning, she was obsessed with control, Savannah later wrote in a personal essay. Karen didn't allow TV, no internet, no cell phone. She was homeschooled with outdated textbooks, told that strangers were dangerous, that the world didn't care, and for 12 years, that was her world. Until the DMV. After the truth came out, Savannah was taken in by Child Protective Services. DNA tests confirmed her identity. Her real parents, Mark and Melissa Hartwell, had never stopped looking. They kept her room the same, celebrated her birthday every year, started a foundation in her name. Their reunion was broadcast live. Melissa collapsed into tears. Mark stood frozen, then slowly stepped forward and whispered, "Hi, sweet pea." But Savannah didn't cry. She didn't hug them. She didn't remember them. To her, they were strangers. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind. Therapy sessions, TV interviews, relearning how to live with people she was biologically tied to, but emotionally disconnected from. The online world split in two. Some saw Savannah as a symbol of strength, a survivor. Others weren't so kind. She should be grateful. Why is she defending her abductor? Brainwashed. But Savannah had her own journey. In one interview, she said, "Losing a lie doesn't mean you find the truth." She felt untethered. Not Carly. Not really Savannah. Just lost. And yet, she did something no one expected. She requested to meet Karen, the woman who stole her. Against her lawyer's advice, against her parents' wishes, she visited the county jail. The meeting was quiet. No press, no cameras. Karen looked tired, her hair graying. But when she saw Savannah, her eyes lit up. "You're still my girl," she whispered. Savannah's reply, "I was never your girl, but I did love you, and I need to know why." They spoke for 2 hours. Savannah asked questions. Some were answered, some weren't. But she left with something unexpected. Clarity. Not forgiveness, not closure, but clarity. She changed her name. Not back to Savannah, not Carly, but something new. Her own. She enrolled in college, studied psychology, wrote a memoir, gave a TED Talk. What if your whole life was a lie? The video went viral. Millions watched, thousands wrote in. And slowly, painfully, she rebuilt. She got a tattoo. Just 3 words. Truth over fear. And every morning, she looked at the photo on her nightstand. Her 6-year-old self. At a park. Just before everything changed. Because that little girl wasn't lost. She was waiting. And now, she was finally found. If this story moved you, subscribe to Resilient Stories. Because behind every headline, there's a human heart. And sometimes, the most incredible stories are the ones we're never meant to find. Your next story starts here.